You are listening to the B.I.G Show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It's the big show.
Big up, big up.
And we are back and in the middle of a storm. So hopefully this work out. If I go out, I'll be back. You know, just keep it rolling, Garland. We're in the middle of the fucking storm and shit like that.
Hopefully I stay up too. We'll see.
Yeah. I keep looking over at my my mesh network box, and that shit is still on red because that ain't connected back yet. The other internet connection may be there, but I'm using my personal hotspot on my phone. So let's go Verizon and shit. Hopefully it seemed to be working.
Verizon.
You might see
y'all need to sponsor us.
It might look like a old Chinese movie. You might see my lips moving, but then the sound will come in later and shit.
Never mind Horizon. We just blew it. That's an old Chinese movie.
Hey, what's going on, Garland? What's going on with you, man?
Bro, I'm good. Last week we went to a game talking about Chinese. We went to see the Padres play the Orioles, and I was telling the crew that one time I was watching the Padres play, and their shortstop is oh my God, I'm trying to remember the name of the shortstop, and he has a African American sounding name. And I was like, oh, wow, the Padres, they got a brother on the team playing shortstop. And I was like, oh, okay, Hassan King. And so they were saying Hassan on the broadcast. I kept on saying Hassan Kim. I was like, oh, wow, they got a brother. I ain't know a brother was playing for the Padres. And then I saw him come out on the field. I was like, oh, it's Hassan. Not Hassan.
ain't nothing brother about him.
I thought it was a brother. I'm like, oh, they got a brother on the team. And then I was like, oh, no, they were saying it wrong. It's Hassan, not Hassan.
Right, Hassan. What's up, Hassan?
They're saying like, what's up, Hassan? Like he had a bean pie. But then I looked up, it was like, no, it was Hassan. And he was taking your order for some short ribs and egg roll.
For some reason, we was being real racist at that game. Like I thought the guy up the bat was black,
right?
But he was white.
He was Asian too. And you was like, he looked like he black. I was like,
I thought he was black. The screen, he was a white boy. We was just borderline racist that game.
We were having a rough time. Yeah, we're having a rough time.
As usual, the Orioles lost anyway.
Oh my God. We're gonna talk about the O's in a minute. So we got a little music corner for y'all. We got a top 10. We're gonna talk some baseball because pretty much that's all that's going on right now outside of the Olympics. And so of course we're gonna talk some Olympics as well. And so let's go ahead and just jump into baseball. That's been the most important thing that's happened over the last week or so. And so as you know, trade deadline just passed on Tuesday. And so just a lot of speculation of teams needing to make big runs. I think one of the biggest things that baseball did outside of the pitch clock, which revolutionized the game, it is the wild cards. And so just about if you got a decent team, everybody is in the playoff hunt. I mean, well into September. It used to be, pretty much you knew who's going to win the division and it was over. But once they started adding these wild card teams, I mean, all these teams are in it. And so a lot of teams were, thinking about making moves. I mean, you could have started off kind of bad at the beginning of the season, then picked it up in the mid by the trade deadline and be like, hey, let's go ahead and be buyers and see if we can make a run. And so we're going to do a little trade deadline, hell yeah or hell nah edition. And so hell yeah or hell nah, Calvin. The Dodgers are now the team to beat in all of Major League Baseball coming out of the deadline. They made several big moves. They got a pitcher, Jack Flaherty. They traded some prospects for other players as well. And so hell yeah or hell nah, the Dodgers are the team to beat in Major League Baseball coming out of the deadline.
I'm going to say no, not Major League Baseball, because there's another team that I think is the team to beat with the move that they made. But I will say the National League. One of the reasons they had to get a pitcher is because most of their pitchers were on the IR. Mookie Betts is also hurt right now.
Right.
So once they get all them back, they should be rolling in the National League with Kershaw, Betts, and solidifying the pitching staff. And of course, the man, Otani, or
Right.
Sean, yeah, whatever his name.
Otani.
Anyway, Otani. But
Yeah.
so I'll say the National League, but not all of baseball. I'll give him number 2.
Yeah, and also Freddie Freeman, his son has been dealing with an illness, and so he hasn't been playing for a minute or two. But they always get to the playoffs and choke anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference what happens with the Dodgers.
They won in the pandemic year. That counts.
That does not count. Hell yeah or hell nah. The Padres are a legitimate threat to win the National League after their reliever spree at the deadline. They picked up several relievers at the deadline. They came to Baltimore, took, I think it was 2 out of 3. They've been on the roll. What do you think about the Padres?
Yeah, hell yeah, they're definitely a threat. They've been a threat all season long. I think they started a little slow, but they've really been a threat all season long. When you got Machado, you got Xander Bogaerts, they're definitely a threat. They still got Tatis. I think they still got.
Yeah, is Tatis playing? Because he did not play in Baltimore. Is he on the injured reserve?
He must be, but they lost Soto over the offseason, but they're still a threat. They're still a threat, and as we saw, the boys can put up some numbers when they need to put up some numbers.
Now, you said you have a National League team that you really think is the standout. What team is that?
An American League team, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, let's keep on going then. We're going to get to American League now. Now, hell yeah or hell nah. The White Sox were right to hold on to Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert Jr.
So I'm not sure about Robert, but Crochet pretty much gave them no choice because that's the dude that said, I don't care if you trade me or not, I'm shutting that shit down come October. So, and unless he got signed to a multi-year contract, so no team was going to pick that up. So they didn't really have a choice there. And White Sox are historically bad right now. Like, I don't know what's going on with Chicago, but yeah. So I mean. Hell yes, I guess. They didn't really have a choice. They kind of, were painted into a corner with that one.
Yeah, there was big talk about Detroit's pitcher, Tariq Subel. A lot of teams were supposed to be in the mix for him. I just think the asking price for a lot of these players was just too high. No teams really gave away their top players on the farm or top players up in the majors. A lot of teams just went mid. They did not really give up the farm to get some of these players. To me, it just says that, although some of these players are having good years this year, I think the risk is just too high. You don't forfeit your future for players that sometimes are not under contract control. That was a major thing. And then you had some that were under contract control, but they're coming off of major injuries like Subel. He's coming off of Tommy John. He's like 1 year removed from Tommy John. And so once you get Tommy John, I think, for me, your record's always a little stained. I mean, look at John Means. He's out again with his second Tommy John. I doubt if he is Oriole next season after he rehabs. But
there's no way he can be.
I would hope so. Hell yeah or hell nah. The Yankees passed the Orioles as the American League's East best team at the deadline.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give them a hell yeah. That's the team that I think is number one. Adding
Jazz
my guy from Miami, adding Jazz. Jazz came in and hit 2 home runs his first game, then 2 home runs his second game. I mean, come on. And I thought he was just an outfielder. I didn't know he played third base also. Yeah. So, I got the Yankees. The Yankees were already strong contender. You add another bat there with Soto. And, of course, big boy. I don't know why I forget. We get on here and forget names all the time.
Giancarlo.
Not Giancarlo Stanton. Not Stanton. The big boy.
Judge.
Home run leader. Yeah, Aaron Judge. You add him with that. That top of the lineup is just murder's row. Like,
right.
I mean, yeah. So that's who I have being the favorite to win the World Series right now with the Orioles struggling.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Stanton because he's going to come out, play about 2 or 3 games, and then he'll be out for the rest of the season with a pulled muscle or something like that. I don't think he's played a full season in the last 5 years.
Yeah, but he's not hitting too bad. He's not
Yeah,
hitting
but
too
that's the
bad.
same thing, Calvin. Every year he gets a gang of home runs. Everybody, oh, this is it. And then all of a sudden, out for 2 months. Comes back, does a little bit, then all of a sudden, out for the rest
But
of the year.
but they got that Soto factor now, and now they got
Yeah.
that Jazz Chisholm factor. So
Yeah. I give it to them. They definitely, hell yeah, they fulfilled the need that they needed someone who could hit behind Judge, who could get on base, that they could get some runners. I think that Volpe and a couple of the other players, they just were not producing. Chisholm came in. We'll see how long the shine stays on. I mean, he was doing all right in Miami. He's in New York. It's a hot start. We'll see how he's doing in September or October and see how that team's doing. I still think they're still a little weak in the pitching area, but the Orioles are really struggling right now. As a matter of fact, they're struggling big time. But with the deadline behind us, the Dodgers remain the favorites to win the World Series. After that, you have the Phillies. They sit behind the Dodgers in terms of the odds. The Yankees have the best odds in the American League to win the World Series.
Phillies are struggling also now.
Phillies are struggling as well.
Yeah.
I think oh my God, why I want to forget his name. We always forget names of players. He's playing first base. He's playing first base right now for the Phillies. But he's in a major slump right now. And then you have the Orioles. Although they were leading the Yankees in the American League East, they're not anymore. Followed by the Braves as the teams with the best odds to get to the World Series. And so out of the Orioles moves that they made, is it enough to get them to the World Series? And now a year ago, I would say that the front office did very little to improve the team at the deadline, and they wound up getting swept in the ALDS. But this year, Mike Elias, he imported 9 players while trading 10. There was no groundbreaking moves. They added a number 3 starter with Zach Eflin. They paid a hefty price for a starter who eats innings with Trevor Rogers. He didn't look too good the other night. I mean, they were just the Guardians was hitting the ball all over the place in his first game with the Orioles to improve the rotation savaged by injuries. And so he's going to be pitching behind Eflin, Corbin Burns, and Grayson Rodriguez. They added Sir Anthony Dominguez, Gregory Soto as relievers. They picked up a salary dump with Eloy Jimenez. He's been injury plagued, but he had a good year or two. Don't know where he fits in the equation. They also called up Kobe Mayo, and they called up Jackson Holiday. And so this is it. This is all show and tell. The people have been begging for Mayo to be up here. People have been begging for a Holiday to be up here. They're here. They paid a hefty price to get Rogers. They had to give up Norby, and they gave up Kyle Stowers for that. And so is it enough, Calvin?
It should be enough. Like I've always said, and we've had this conversation quite a few times. I've always said we got 2 studs as our 1 and 2 starter. All we need for the third starter is just to be decent. He doesn't have to be lights out. And as we saw in the game that Eflin pitched, he wasn't lights out. But he pitched very well. I think that was the game we were at. I don't know if that was the Padres game.
Who pitched well?
Eflin pitched well.
Eflin. It would have been the last Padres game that he pitched when we went to the second game.
He wasn't his whatever first game he pitched, he didn't pitch bad. I think I might have been there. I don't know if you were there, but
you went. No, it was the Blue Jays game. You went to that game.
Okay. He kept giving up 2 hits. He was giving up 2 hits every inning. But he wasn't pitching bad. He just wasn't lights out. The defense failed him. No, I'm thinking about Kramer.
Kramer.
That's Eflin the game we went pitched to. Very well. Eflin actually pitched very well that first Toronto game, but he's not lights out. But we just need a third guy that's going to be decent and pitch well. If we get that, then we should make some noise. Our issue now is that not only when the pitching is on, the bats aren't swinging. that making errors in the field. Like it's things that you're looking at like, whoa, we've been doing well all year with this, and now all of a sudden this is going to plague us after the All-Star break. So it sounds like they should have enough to maintain that lead, which of course you now got the Yankees taking over. They should still make the playoffs, and you just never know. Like they say, once you get in the dance, things could change. So hopefully they can get these struggles out of the way by the time playoffs come.
Yeah, they're all or none to me, and I think I've said this in our conversations. It's either a home run or nothing at all. They're not a team that puts the ball in play a lot. They're not a base hitting team, and even in situations where they got runners on base, they're not able to get overruns without a home run. And I think that's the difference between last year's team as well. Last year's team, they were really spraying the ball. They were raking. And in addition to, getting a home run. But this year, it's kind of like even is feast or famine, pretty much in terms of that lineup. And I'll say the same thing about the pitching as well. Pitching is not as great as last year. I think pitching actually was a strong point, although they did not have a clear number one. The bullpen was lights out. Once they got to the 6th or 7th inning, if they had a lead, it basically was over. Not this year. And so you could get to the 6th and the 7th. We saw that in the Miami series. They got to the 7th, 8th inning with a 6-run lead and had to go to extra innings to get that win. And so they're struggling. And I'm concerned about the defense. I'm mostly concerned about Gunnar Henderson. We were at the Padres game. He made several errors in that game, although he was just credited with one. And I think he's made an error every game since. I have to say, I don't want to say this out loud, but I think he might have the yips. To me, it's something in the mechanics of throwing the first, it's in the mechanics of playing ground balls or something like that he just – I hope he doesn't have the yips. The yips, for people who don't know what the yips is.
Steve Sachs.
Steve Sachs had the yips. He couldn't throw to first base.
Nomar had the yips for a little while,
right.
too.
Golfers get it all the time. They can't make close putts. And so I hope – I mean, since they've come back from the All-Star break, I mean, he's played relatively well in terms of batting. I mean, he's not tearing the cover off the ball like he was in the first half, but his defense is really taking a dive. I've never thought he was great defensively anyway, but it's really taken a dive. And so to me, that's the main concern with him. What are your thoughts about Gunnar?
Yeah, so I also think it's the living up to the expectations. If you remember when he was in the All-Star game, he was in the home run derby. He was the last one to go, which means he was one of the favorites. He looked awful. I mean, he looked bad. Now, it could be the pitching because, of course, that's definitely 50% of you got to get the right pitches. Sure. But yeah, he just hasn't looked like Gunnar. They did move him down in the lineup. They took him out of the number one spot, and they did move him down in the lineup. I guess that's helped, but he's just not tearing it up like he was in the first half, just like you said. So it could be a combination of the yips. It could be a combination of the pressure. And the second Toronto game, he didn't even play the doubleheader. He only played the first game. He didn't even play in the second game. They took him out and put Westberg at shortstop for that second game.
Right. All right, let's talk a little bit about Mike Trout. Los Angeles Angels center fielder Mike Trout suffered another meniscus tear in his surgically repaired left knee and will not play for the remainder of this season. Yet another crushing development for the generational superstar who has been significantly hampered by injuries in the recent years. I think over the last 5 years, he has yet to play a full season. And so at one point, man, they were saying, it was about Manny. It was about Mike Trout. And let me get my first baseman because I'm not going to miss this. Oh, my God. Why I want to forget it? Oh, my God. Come on. What's the face? Anyway. So, yeah, it was about these guys. They came up all at the same time. Bryce Harper. Thank you. Bryce Harper. So Bryce Harper is about Bryce Harper. It was about Manny, and it was about Mike Trout. And the debate was who was the greatest young player. And hands down, it was all about Mike Trout. I mean, I don't even think they would put Manny up there. It was Mike Trout and Bryce Harper. Um, Harper is still playing very well, although he's in a slump. Manny has just been consistent. His glove has not diminished, but Trout, his body has just betrayed him. And so, based off his past production, Calvin, I mean, say he doesn't play next year or the year after that, or he retires early because his body just can't take it. Is he a Hall of Famer based off his past production?
In baseball, he's absolutely a Hall of Famer. If we're talking about another sport, maybe not. But baseball almost lets anybody in their Hall of Fame. So he just might be. I would consider him a Hall of Famer. If you take his last few years, of course, he's not. But Mike Trout's a Hall of Famer.
Okay. All right. The Olympics. Have you been patriotic, my friend?
Well, I mean, I'm not running to watch the anthem, but I am watching some of the Olympics. So I was telling Garland, we have YouTube TV now, and they give us the little 4-box thing, so we can cut on the 4 boxes and decide which one of the competitions we want to watch. So I have been watching that. I did watch Shikari before I came up here.
I saw that as well.
So
won the silver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been watching it. Keep Maryland's own Katie Ledecky. It's something, must be something about the Bay. We talk about people swimming in the harbor, but that Bay water must have something to it. Michael Phelps, Katie Ledecky. We got the top 2 swimmers ever in the history of sports from Maryland.
We got the best chlorinated pools in America because they ain't swimming in no daggone in a harbor. They ain't swimming in no bay.
It's the Bay water. They might not be in the harbor, but they might be on the outskirts of the Bay. They might be down. What's the little beach down by the Bay Bridge?
Rocky
they
Point.
Might be down there. They might be down there.
They might be down Rocky Point getting some laps in.
they down there getting their adventure powers and then going in the pool. Yeah, then they going in the pool and they killing it. Did you see Katie Ledecky win that one race by 17 seconds?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, there
was no one else in the screen.
She's doing it.
Where's she from? She from Bethesda.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I saw a tweet that Bethesda, Montgomery County in Maryland, athletes from that area have won the most golds in the state. And so, I think it's attributed. One is the richest county in the state. They have the greatest facilities down there and all. And so, there's a lot of programming that kids could get into that have developed those talents. But it's just funny how, we like, man, F America. But when the Olympics come on, boy, we get kind of like, I found myself screaming for the 4x400 mixed sex race, the mixed gender. My sister got walked down at the end by the woman from the Netherlands. She had a strong kick at the end, but I mean, they're running like sub 48 seconds open 400. I mean, they were flying, and there's no shame in that.
They need to calm down.
Yeah, it's no shame in
that was just to qualify.
No, this was the final. This was before the 100. They ran it. They ran the final before the 100.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
because they broke the record in the qualifying the other night.
They broke the record in the qualifying. The final was the day before the 100 final, and they won the silver in that. The sister who was the closing leg, she got walked down by a woman from the Netherlands, who's the top open 400 hurdles champ. I think she won gold in the Tokyo Games, and she's known for walking people down. And so she walked the sister down. And so, it's just it's interesting. I think track is probably basketball, maybe swimming are the most popular things, although you see some weird sports every now and again. But the Olympics, they've been interesting. It's just, since they are ahead of us in terms of the timeline, we're not necessarily seeing everything live. And so a lot of times if you're just watching the primetime coverage at night, I mean, they're not, those games are not live that they're showing, and, you're seeing something taped. And so unless you got some time on your hand to go ahead and watch some of it. But it's been interesting so far. America's doing well. The other countries also seeing athletes from other countries. It's been a great experience. Let's go ahead.
What's going on with our 3-on-3 women?
Oh, they got blown out. I think the
women's basketball.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was just talking about that the other day. Go ahead.
They finally won one game, but Haley Van Lichtenegger, they missed Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink was on that team, but when she got hurt in the WNBA, she's not there, so they missed Cameron Brink badly.
Yeah, and the men, I think they got blown out too. They got worked by Serbia the other day or what have you. Somebody was saying, how come we don't have some like NBA players on this 3-on-3 team, or let's get some of the 6 men from the NBA and just go ahead and make up a team with them and let them go ahead and play.
Ask Ice Cube to send some of his 3-on-3 players over there.
No, I ain't talking about old men like us out here still playing 3-on-3. I'm talking about players that's still playing.
Hey, them boys are physical and will throw some elbows out there and everything.
What you gonna send? ISO. You gonna send ISO Joe over there so he can get a gold medal?
Absolutely.
All right. Send Oakley over there since he fighting the players on his team. They cussing each other out. Get ready fight on the sidelines. Or Lisa Leslie, somebody.
Send Gary Payton over there. Gary Payton will argue with anybody on the team.
Right. All right, man. Let's slide into your top 10.
Top 10. So I'm gonna give you a few names. I'm gonna go top 10 nicknames in sports. So I'm gonna start off by giving you a few names, and I want you to give me their real name. For example, if I said Magic Johnson,
Irvin Johnson.
If I said Boom Boom Mancini,
Ray Mancini Jr.
There you go. All right, so we got the gist of it. So let's start here now. All right, let me know when you're ready. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right. The Intimidator.
Ooh, the Intimidator. Roger Clemens?
Nope. I'll give you another guess.
Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
Dale Earnhardt Sr. from NASCAR. Right. There you go.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right, here we go. Sweetness.
Oh, of course, Walter Payton.
There we go. The Matrix.
Sean Marion.
Let me give you another one. Alexander the Great.
Ooh, Alex Ovechkin.
Alex Ovechkin from hockey. Good. Here we go. Let me take you back. The Cobra.
Okay, Ezra Charles.
No.
No? Ezra Charles is not the Cobra?
No.
Oh my God, the Cobra. The Cobra.
Now, of course, these
can you give me the sport?
It's baseball. Now, you may be right because, a lot of these names go to more than one person, but this one is baseball.
The Cobra was an outfielder. I know that much. And I think this was in the Bush era when the black players had bushes. Oh my God. Oh, the Cobra. I want to say Oscar Gamble.
Nope.
Who?
Dave Parker, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh yeah, that's right. I hated the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I hated them too.
The We Are Family Pirates messed up 1983 for me. No, yes. Not 1983. 1979.
That was Willie Stargell and them boys. Dave Parker. Let me give you a name and you tell me who this is. I'm just going to give you a first name. Eldrick. If I give you the last name, you're going to know.
Woods.
Tiger Woods. Let me try this one. Skip to my Lou.
Okay. Oh my God. I see him. I know who Skip to my Lou is. He played for the Bucks. He played for the Rockets. Oh my God. What was Skip to my Lou's name? I can't get it.
Rafer Alston.
Oh God. No sense at all.
Big Country.
Oh, that's Brian Reeves.
Brian Reeves got drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes. Bad Moon.
Bad Moon. Oh my God. I know who. Bad Moon. Can you give me the sport?
Yes, football.
Bad Moon. Oh, okay. Andre Rison.
Andre Rising, Bad Moon Rising. All right, now let's shift real quick. I'm going to give you the real name, and I need you to give me the nickname.
Okay. All right.
Now, I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to make this one, give you a little hint. These are all wrestlers or wrestlers.
Wrestlers.
Wrestlers, as Bomani like to say.
All right.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Terry Jean Belair.
Oh my God, my wrestlers are terrible. Oh my God, Terry Jean Belair.
I'm always gonna give you popular ones. I ain't gonna give you nobody that ain't popular.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Hulkster. Mm-hmm. You got it, brother.
Oh, Donald Trump's boy.
Hossein Khosrow Vaziri.
Oh my God, the Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik, who before he passed away had an amazing Twitter account. If you did not follow the Iron Sheik, his Twitter account was amazing.
Do you remember when him and Hacksaw Duggan were arrested together? I think they were doing coke in a car or something. And they were supposed to be enemies in the ring, but people were like, how are they hanging out together? They're supposed to be enemies. Yeah, that happened.
Where's my other one? I'm gonna only give you a few more of the wrestlers because there's so many of them. Hold on. Let me my guy here. Let me give you this one. See if you know this one. This one you should know. You should know for a few different reasons. Hold on. Let me find her real name, and then I'll tell you. All right. It is Joni Laura.
Oh my God. I don't know too many women wrestlers. I'm trying to think. Oh my God. Who is it?
China.
Okay.
Here we go. Randy Poffo.
That's gotta be my guy. Not Macho Man Randy. I'm thinking of Ric Flair.
Oh, brother. I don't know how you thought that. I was Ric Flair. Elizabeth, come over here. I cannot believe that is Randy Macho Man Savage all day long.
Oh my God.
All right, last one.
Okay.
Richard Morgan Fleer.
Okay, now that's Ric Flair.
Woo! And we go that out and take a look. Woo!
I'm the kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, airplane flying.
Got these alligator shoes
on. I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down. Yeah, man.
That's it. Those are the names I wanted to give you. Give you some nicknames, top 10 nicknames there. There were some good ones there. There's hundreds of them, of course. Hundreds of wrestlers and just people just out there. But those were some of the ones. I didn't want to give you the easy ones like the Human Highlight Reel.
Right.
Of course, Air Jordan. The microwave. You know the microwave is.
Oh, yeah. Vinnie Johnson.
Vinnie Johnson, Bad Boys Detroit Pistons. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So. You know, you don't know this, but when I was a little boy, I used to love. My mom used to give me sports anthology books, just books about various sports athletes and stuff. And one time, she gave me this sports trivia book of like nicknames, top players, all this stuff, and I loved that book. I lost it somewhere as a young kid, but yeah, so that was my thing, sports trivia. At one time I was trying to get on Sports Jeopardy when they were doing, when Dan Patrick was hosting it, and I occasionally take the Jeopardy test to see if I can get on Jeopardy stuff. Big brain Garland. Now my lights are flashing out here, so let's hurry up and keep moving. Garland's Music Corner. All right, there are 2 releases this year. As a matter of fact, over the last 2 months that I wanted to kind of throw out there for people. Hopefully you're listening to some good music, but we're going to go back to some rap music. The first album I'm going to recommend is The Auditorium Volume 1. It's by Common and Pete Rock. The Auditorium Volume 1 is a collaboration between those two. And this kind of came about, it was years in the making. And it kind of has sparked this kind of revitalization and taking a deeper look for people of my generation, of the hip hop community, of the hip hop generation, of having music that appeals to us. A lot of times when I'm discussing, or people of my age group are discussing hip hop or rap music with the younger generations, we always like, oh, that music's trash, or yeah, they don't got no lyrics, the beats is all repetitive, and this, that, and the other. But I think maybe we need to start thinking or rethinking of, hey, we need an adult contemporary type of lane for the older rap listener. Let's keep on bigging up our Commons and our KRS-Ones and those others, LL Cool J's, and those artists of that ilk. We already seen that there's a lane for them. I mean, last year we had the Force Tour with LL Cool J and the Roots, and they brought up all of these artists from that, what we call the golden era, my era, and the tour did quite well. It opened up here in Baltimore. As a matter of fact, I wanted to go, but I was going on vacation the next day, so it was either vacation money or go to the show. So I chose vacation. But there's a lane for it, and this album has kind of helped spark that revitalization of the golden era for a lot of listeners. Pete Rock with See How Smooth was a group. Common's been a solo artist, and so you had basically one of hip hop's best MCs over Pete Rock beats. I mean, that's kind of like a wet dream that anybody would want to have if you are a hip hop fan. And so you got tracks like Dreaming, This Man, We're On Our Way, All Kind of Ideas, which uses a Eric B. and Rakim sample. This is a great album. You got Pasta Noose on there, Jennifer Hudson. You got Bilal on there as well, and so it's a great album. Once you start playing it, you won't stop playing it. And so if you have not listened to it, go ahead and take a listen to it. So it's the Auditorium, Volume 1, Common and Pete Rock. And now my second album that I want to recommend out of Garland's Music Corner is an album that came out maybe a couple months before that. It's by a female artist. Her name is Rhapsody. And our album is entitled Please Don't Cry. And Please Don't Cry is the fourth studio album by Rhapsody. Now, you really got to kind of be a hip hop head to know who Rhapsody is. Rhapsody comes out of the state of North Carolina. She was produced by a guy named Ninth Wonder. Ninth Wonder was a part of a great hip hop group called Little Brother. You had Fonte and Big Pooh in this group. They released a great underground album several years ago and a good follow-up as well. They're not a group anymore. Little Brother is still together, Fonte and Pooh, but Ninth Wonder went off on his own. He produced Girl for Destiny's Child, and he produced Threat on the Jay-Z album, the Black Album. And so Please Don't Cry is a introspective album on which Rhapsody, she explores a variety of topics such as sexuality, identity, self-preservation, and the plight of hip-hop artistry. She has described it as a love story with the reflection in the mirror. This is like, I was reading an article, an interview with her, and she was saying that it was a producer, this guy named No ID, who's out of Chicago. He discovered Kanye, and he produced Common as well. He was saying, a lot of people know that you're a dope artist, but they really don't know anything about you. They don't know anything about your life and your music. And so she kind of used that as her launch point to, write this really introspective album. And so it's like she has a lot of this great lyrics in it. One of my favorite songs is a song called Asteroids, where she says, if I had a dick, I would be in the greatest debate. And so, I mean, her flow is that type that she's true. If she did have a Lil Man, we'd be talking about her like we talk about Jay-Z and Nas and others. And so my favorite tracks on this album is Marlena, Asteroids, Look at What You've Done, 3 a.m. featuring Erykah Badu. She has a cut on here called Raw with Little Rain. And she also has a song on the album called A Ballad for Homegirls. And so it's a real great lyrical album, great beats. This is not produced by Ninth Wonder. She's had a lot of different producers on this. Hit Boy, who did a couple albums with Nas and some others. And so take and listen to it. Rhapsody, Please Don't Cry. Great album. Great music coming out. LL Cool J's coming out with another album very soon. Rakim just put out an album that he totally produced. And so for those adult contemporary people like me, you may not want to hear the N-word in every song, or someone talking about their butthole or their coochie. Nothing against them. That's how they want to get on. We did have Luke. We had 2 Live Crew. We had all those things. And so we had that in our genre when it was come out. So we can't act like we didn't have stripper music. We can't act like we didn't have nasty lyrics. And so, take a listen to those. Please Don't Cry by Rhapsody. And like I said, The Auditorium Volume 1, Common and Pete Rock.
I actually have The Auditorium queued up in my Apple Music, so I do need to listen to it. I haven't started. Yeah. Rhapsody, I first came across her when Jemele Hill had her show. Yes. She interviewed Ninth Wonder, and then she interviewed Rhapsody shortly after that. Mm-hmm. So I did hear the interviews, but I never listened to it. So
yeah, great lyricist, so great album, great beats, and also trust me, you'll like them. And so now we're
another good show.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was about to shut down. I completely forgot about. Yeah.
Now we got some Come On Yo. I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm trying to beat the storm on your side because it hit me hard. But anyway, Come On Yo. We were talking about the Olympics, so I just want to bring up in the Olympics that the last Olympics, there was a lot of controversy surrounding 2 Black women in the Olympics. One was Sha'Carri Richardson because she had a little bit of the weed, and then of course they didn't let her go to the Olympics. And like she said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna come back stronger. I'm gonna do what I have to do to come back stronger. And she has not disappointed. Leading up to the Olympics, she won the World Championship. She's been running her ass off. And no, she didn't get the gold medal in the 100 meters, but she got the silver medal, which is better than what she did last year. Now people are starting to give her the respect that she deserves, and not the people that are us, but the people that should have been giving her the respect before. So come on, yo. Keep giving Sha'Carri that respect. She took that braids out of her hair with all the colors. I guess she tried to conform to you all a little bit, you a little, but she's still running like she should be running. The second one is Simone Biles. Simone Biles got up there, and there was a whole lot going on with her. And you remember she took a break from the Olympics because she was having mental issues. She wanted to get her mental together, just like Naomi Osaka did for a few years in tennis. Yes. But Simone got a whole bunch of vitriol from those right-leaning supporters. They called her a quitter. They called her all kinds of names. And what did she do in these Olympics? She came out here and she's winning everything. She's the most decorated gymnast ever in the Olympics, ever in the USA. And clearly she's the GOAT. You got Serena Williams, then you got Simone Biles. These Black women that you all that lean right have been killing out here. You've just been killing them with your words because of some of the things they say and some of the decisions that they make. But what you can't do is take away their greatness. So come on, yo. Stop sleeping on our people. Black people are the greatest ever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're the standard now. You were the standard, but we're starting to break those barriers now. So recognize.
I agree with you. I don't think we really recognize that these are very tough things to accomplish. You're going against not only the best in your country to get there, but then you're going against the best in the world. And I always say, when people are like, these football players, when they talk about athletes, I'm like, this is not Madden, where you can, set the conditions of how you play and manipulate the game and, all those things. This is real life. They have to prepare. They have to get their body right. They have to be peaking at the right time in order to do this. This is not an easy thing. Simone Biles, she battled the yips in terms of doing, a couple of the different things in the competition where, if she knew she was just a little bit off, it could count her the difference between gold and bronze. And so, shout out to her for coming back from that and achieving, and to Sha'Carri for coming back and achieving. She just basically could have just quit and, let everything beat her down. But she did not give up. She came back. She bounced back, and she was the top runner, had the top time this year, and got a silver medal. As a matter of fact, they won silver and bronze in this race. And so nothing to be ashamed of. We have to big up these accomplishments. I agree with you.
And they are doing it. They're not being humble about it. And I love it. Simone Biles, every chance she gets, she letting you all know that I'm the greatest. The little girl that talked shit about her a couple years ago and then said something, Simone came up, put a shirt out about it and everything. They got the shirt out now. Fuck around and find out. And the girl had to block her on Instagram.
And Twitter. Yeah.
They both, Sha'Carri ain't going. She not going to hold her tongue. So what? She ain't number 1 in the 100 meters. She's number 2, and number 3 is her training partner. So not only is she doing it, she bringing somebody else with her. Girl, let's do this. We got this. Shout out to Black women, and come on, to those of you that were against that, and you're out there. Don't act like you aren't. You're out there.
My come on, yo, is come on, yo. Before you get into these discussions about art or music or things that involve understanding the past, go read a book or do some research. Just recently, LL Cool J was on Uncle Shay Shay's show, and Uncle Shay Shay asked LL, who are the greatest artists to ever come through Def Jam? And LL said, well, myself, Public Enemy, the Beastie Boys, and Slick Rick. And you would have thought that LL said something that was scandalous or something that was wrong. People on X, ain't no way he ain't have DMX on that. He ain't have Rihanna on that. He ain't say Jay-Z. If you know your history, you would know that there would be no Def Jam without LL Cool J, Public Enemy, the Beasties, and Slick Rick. That is the foundation of the label. That's like saying Boyz II Men is the greatest artist that was ever on Motown. What? Stevie Wonder, the Temptations, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, and what? Just because when you were young and DMX had a hit on the label doesn't mean DMX was the greatest person that ever came through that label. Yes, he had a little run, but he's not the foundation. Jay-Z was not signed to Def Jam. Def Jam just distributed Rockefeller. He was on Rockefeller. I don't even know why you even mentioned Rihanna. Okay, because Rihanna wouldn't be making no records if it wasn't for It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, or Radio, or Walking with a Panther, or all those other LL Cool J albums, or the Beasties' License to Ill, or The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. There would not be a label if it wasn't for those people. And so before we get into these discussions, I need people to have kind of like a better worldview of what the art is and what our history is. I think that's probably one of the things we're missing, Calvin, is a lot of times our younger people, they don't know the past. They don't have a good understanding of what happened in the past. And so because they don't have a good understanding of what happened in the past, they make these crazy statements about, can't be no Public Enemy. Public Enemy changed the landscape of rap music. It got very political. If it wasn't for Public Enemy, we wouldn't have any political rap. I don't know how many people Public Enemy inspired in terms of their political viewpoint of America and of themselves, of taking responsibility, of voting, of organizing in their communities, of all of those things, of Black empowerment. And so, come on, yo, read a book, learn a little bit of your history before you go spouting off craziness.
Yeah, I personally think that, and I get it, because most recently, LL went through that period, and I don't want to say most recently, but LL went through that period where he was absolutely ladies love Cool J. He was making a lot of music that was more, for the ladies and all, but
he found his core audience.
Let's talk about radio. Let's talk about how LL Cool J LL Cool J was the first sex symbol in rap music. There was no one doing it like LL at one time. Now I will say, I might move Slick Rick aside just to add Run DMC there because they're pioneers. However, Run DMC
was never assigned to Def Jam.
I was about to say Run DMC's most of their hits came when they were at Profile, when they were with Profile Records. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, but I'm just, y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to give LL some respect. LL don't get enough respect as the pioneer that he is.
I think that's where we need to start too. That's where we need to start. We got to start with, you got to give L. I know you see him on CSI. I know you did, you just know him as an actor, but we know, like I say the same thing about Queen Latifah. You just know her as an actress.
Yes.
I knew all hail the Queen Latifah. That's somebody who was totally different. So
absolutely. So But good shit, man. Good shit.
Thank
on
you,
that.
Bro.
By the way, real quick, I didn't mention it because we were trying to rush through the storms. But you can see us live on YouTube. Hopefully it'll come through. You will hear us on all of the podcast platforms. And if you do have Spotify, you'll be able to see us live there. So hopefully the words and the video match up.
I just got my hair cut. I just got my hair cut. Come see this lineup.
I tell you, boy, this dude right here.
Y'all, just gonna let y'all know we ain't gonna be around for a couple weeks. So hopefully you enjoy this as well. Just gonna spend some time with family, you're just reflecting and doing some stuff. And so enjoy this.
We gotta take a summer break too. I know it seems like we take a break every other month or something. But so what? So what? So what?
It's our show. So you listening. You listening, Jay. You gonna keep on listening.
We're gonna have to get Jay on here. We're gonna have to get We're gonna have to get a point counterpoint with Jay featuring James Walls on here because he always got something.
Let me say it in a language Jay will understand. Boopy doopy doo, Scooby Dooby doo. There you go, bro.
Jay gonna be mad, man. Oh, you gonna send him at the Nationals game? I ain't gonna send him. So y'all. Oh, actually, he ain't even gonna be there. So y'all.
Yeah, that's right. I'm getting his ticket. I'm trying to talk Jason out of his, and so we'll see. So I can take my family.
Yeah. Well, we got Ticketmaster over this month. StubHub.
About
probably calling StubHub over this month.
About to make him an offer he can't refuse. He about to wake up screaming with a horse head in the bed.
Man, let me play this outro so we can get out of here, man.
I'm just joking, Jason. Don't send your wife after me because I don't want to get beat. You have been listening to the B.I.G. Show. The show was Commando
produced
too,
and written by Calvin Coates
Forces
and Garland Thomas for All Things Black Productions. Follow us on all of your podcast media.
Still
doing special ops missions and shit. You know what I mean? Whatever, Jason.
Here, button. They just call him and say one word, and he just pop into a soldier.
Oh, seal ass nigga and shit. Hey man, all right then. I'll holler at you.
All right, bro. Peace.
Later.